just have some hallmarks. What are they under Coach Fuente? Have they changed? What have you noticed about what is Virginia Tech football now?
Well, the biggest change is offensively. You know, that they're different there, and I think that they were kind of trending toward what they're doing now, but I think Justin's come in and has really solidified them offensively, big time. And I think they've always been that defensively, but now they've really kind of, you know, they're not trying to be all things to all people. They know exactly who they are and what they've got to do to give themselves a chance to be successful, and that's what they do. And that's what good teams do. That's what good coaches do. And they've done an excellent job. This is year one in kind of instilling the fundamentals of their system into these guys and getting these guys to buy in, and then they've grown it as the year has gone. You go back and you watch them from the Tennessee game all the way to Virginia. It is, you know, and from my eyes, in knowing what I'm looking at, it is a real growth with their system and the understanding of what they're doing and the confidence of what they're doing at every position. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. I just think that they are a true identity over there offensively that they're going to build around for, you know, years to come.
Coach, how much does it help having the three common opponents in your film study and trying to identify tendencies?
Say that one more time.
With the three common opponents you have with Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, it's you study everybody. You know, I think that people can look too much into that stuff. We lost to Pitt, they beat Pitt. They lost to Syracuse, we beat Syracuse. That just goes to show you none of that stuff means anything. But I think, you know, from a personnel standpoint, you know, they lost to Georgia Tech, we beat Georgia Tech. You know, you can get a feel for it, but it's really the totality of the season. Anything can happen on any day. Sometimes teams have better days than others. Sometimes you have matchup issues. Sometimes you have an injury. Sometimes you have turnovers. Sometimes you have a monsoon. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into game day. But as you study them all season long, you know, we're trying to, who are they? Who are their personnel? How have they responded week in and week out? And this has been an incredibly consistent football team. You know, again, year one of a new coach, new voices, new philosophies, new things, and how have they responded? They responded very well. You know, it's a good football team that has gotten better all year.
I'm sorry, Bill was saying that he feels like the defense is more fresh than it was at this point last year. How do you view that, and what have you done to kind of make sure those guys stay healthy throughout the year?
Well, I really haven't done anything. I just think it's just a product of who our team is this year and our schedule. You know, there's no question. I mean, y'all heard me say many times, we won last year in November, but I mean, and there's a lot to be said for finding a way to win. And our guys gutted it out, but we were a exhausted football team last year at this time. We didn't finish well in this game. We didn't finish well in the South Carolina game. We were kind of, you know, hanging on to get to the finish line. We played 10 straight. And not only did we play 10 straight, we had no competitive depth on defense. You know, you go back to the beginning of the year, the one thing I told all you media guys was the biggest change in our team is going to be the competitive depth of our team. It's going to pay off for us. It's going to make us better. We have more functional guys than we had last year. You know, you look at Shaq and Dodd and the enormous amount of snaps that they played. We got more guys that can go play. We don't hold our breath. Oh, you know, B.J. Goodson is down. You know, we don't hold our breath this year. We've played more guys throughout the season. We've developed more confidence, and then our schedule. You know, we had an open date, and we don't control that. We had an open date that allowed us to it came at a good time to where we could kind of recharge. We've been pretty fortunate with some injuries and things like that, but just more guys, more competition at practice, and more guys that are available and ready to go win for us. And I think that's helped us big time. So, You know, there's no question we're a fresher team than we were this time last year. Not even close on both sides.
Yeah, but you talked about right at the start, how difficult it is to follow up the season you had last year with what you guys have done this year. That locker room in Arizona was pretty down, pretty disappointed. Did you have a plan coming back that says, okay, we're not gonna get back here tomorrow, so we need to take these steps to get everybody's mind right and get back on this track?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's no different than any other year. For us, we start over every year, regardless. I mean, if we have a disappointing season, or if you get beat in the national championship game 14-1, I mean, we're going to start over, and we're going to self-evaluate. We're going to, from a staff standpoint, we're going to evaluate from a personnel standpoint. The guys on our football team, we're gonna evaluate from a schematic standpoint. What was good, what was bad, what are areas that we need to really try to improve, and that's what we do every year. And then for me, the mentality, what's the psychological aspect of the team coming back, and how do we approach that, and that's always different, depending on the type of team you have and who are the leaders coming back, what's going to be the voices in the locker room, what are they made of, and so then you kind of formulate your plan for the new journey. So you truly start over every year. Every season is a season of its own, a new journey, new team, new voices, new chemistry, new morale. New motivating factors. There's lots of different things, different challenges. Obviously next year it's going to be, okay, who's the quarterback, and how's the new quarterback? Is it going to? Kelly's going to be the guy for sure going into the spring, no question. How's he going to do? Well, we're going to all find out. Some different storylines every single year on teams. For this football team coming back, it was just a very tangible presence of leadership day one. And so for me, I've tapped into that all year long. These guys have just been so easy. We've had just no issues, accountability, guys just practicing the right way, buying into what we got to do in the spring, understand that you have to pay the price all over again. You don't just get back somewhere. It doesn't work that way. You have to go and prove it, and buy into the mentality that we have that, hey, every game's the biggest game of the year, and then whatever result we get, whether it's a great result or a poor result, it's all about what's next. Always all about what's next, and how do we attack it, and how do we get better. And our guys, that's the culture that we have. But really didn't do anything special. We just started over, just like we do every year.